Drunk driving doesn't really end in that short period right after the party.
That's right. Driving hungover can actually be just as dangerous as driving after having a few drinks. Steve Garagiola shows you why.
A driver who's drunk is dangerous and too often can be deadly. Nobody would argue that. But what about driving the next day? We don't think much about hangover driving, but the effects can be as debilitating as driving while drunk.
It can make you shaky, it can give you a headache, you can get muscle fatigue, you can get difficulty with memory, short and long term, concentration, and your reaction times are slowed.
And here's the kicker. Hangover effects don't even start until your body purges all of the alcohol you consumed.
They can last up to 24 hours, depending on how much you drank the night before.
Put these on.
Ford Motor Company has developed the hangover suit as part of their Driving Skills for Life program.
We're in 43 countries, trained over 1 million people, and we added things like distracted driving and impaired driving into the process, but we know those also dictate what happens in a vehicle.
The hangover suit weighs 37 pounds. Distorted vision, bright light. I couldn't navigate their simple test track in the suit. And keep in mind, I was only partially impaired.
The one thing we're not affecting is your brain. So you know you're impaired, and somebody who is impaired doesn't know they're impaired. So
after a few laps, my cyborg headset did a good job of creating a headache that was no simulation.
Oh, felt like I got another one.
Yeah, I think you got one again.
This test was on a closed course. Driving on city streets would have been impossible.
What if they pull out in front of you, a kid runs out in front of you? You're probably not going to see him.
Oh, if there were other cars out here and somebody pulled in front of me, there'd be no way. No way to stop.
The message was clear. And by the way, all those hangover cures you've heard about?
Sadly, there's no cure for a hangover.
The bottom line is, whether it's driving drunk or driving the next day with a hangover, it's not worth the risk of possibly ruining your life or somebody else's. Back to you.
It makes perfect sense. I don't know, though, that I've ever heard anybody talk about it in that way.
Never even given it thought.
The suit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Something. All right.